Alright, so today's video is going to be just a little bit different. We don't have a clip here, but we do have a tweet from Lauren Boebert, everybody's favorite, that says, an Amtrak passenger train just derailed in California. 2 weeks ago, a highway collapsed in Philadelphia. Stuff like this is going on constantly in America. We're sending our money all over the world, but our country is falling down around us. Lauren Boebert seemingly taking issue here with America's failing infrastructure and also the fact that America likes to send its money, send aid to other places. I'm assuming she's talking about Ukraine. I'm not 100% sure, but Lauren Boebert, back in 2021, actually voted no on the infrastructure bill. When the House voted on the bill, she was one of the Republicans that voted no on the bill. But now she's complaining about the infrastructure. But regardless of all of that, she says an Amtrak passenger train just derailed in California. The Amtrak passenger train that derailed in California derailed because there was a truck that was on the tracks. It had nothing to do with infrastructure in any way, shape, or any fucking form at all. An Amtrak train crashed into an irrigation truck while pulling 7 cars in Moore Park, causing the train to partly derail and occupants to evacuate. And most of these articles are saying that around 15 or 16 people did have injuries, except for the truck driver who was taken to a trauma center. So I think there was about 16 in total. Some of the articles are reporting different things, but regardless, the the train derailment has nothing to do with the infrastructure. That's the most just disingenuous way to frame something like this. And then she also says 2 weeks ago, a highway collapsed in Philadelphia, and many of you have probably heard about this. But yes, 2 weeks ago, a section of I-95 in Philadelphia collapsed when a tanker truck caught on fire and it burned. You can see the picture of it up here. A section of Interstate 95 in Philadelphia collapsed on Sunday after a fiery crash involving a tanker loaded with gasoline. And yeah, you can see the damage is pretty bad. It's awful. It's awful, and stuff like that. That's not supposed to happen. I was honestly very surprised when I found out that a section of I-95 had pretty much just essentially melted, really. But since that has happened, I-95, that section of I-95 has already opened back up. It took them 2 weeks. 2 weeks to rebuild that entire section of I-95 and open it back up. But she's not talking about how it's literally already opened back up. Look, this USA Today article has this nice little 45-second time lapse of the thing being built. You can literally see it's completely reopened now. And one of the reasons, at least I think, Lauren Boebert isn't saying anything about it being reopened is because the governor, the person who is governor here, is a Democrat. Josh Shapiro is a Democrat, so she's not going to give any Democrat credit where credit is due, obviously, because that's not what Republicans do, and that's not what decent human beings do anyway. But I wanted to make a video on this because, look, I'm not surprised, okay? I'm not shocked that Lauren Boebert is saying things like this. This is very on brand for someone like Lauren Boebert. She says crazy, wacko shit like this all the time. It's just disgusting and downright deplorable. But I do think it is important that we continue to draw attention to it so we can expose the blatant hypocrisy of some of the most outspoken members of the GOP, like Lauren Boebert, excuse me, and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and so many of the other ones. Just those are the two that come to mind first when you think of extremely outspoken members of the Republican Party. But that's going to be it for the video. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, press that little bell, turn on all notifications so you guys never miss an upload.